What did you have for breakfast today?
Today we had the food.
Yeah.
We had the falafel, hummus. It was a good, nutritious breakfast. We got that Turkish coffee in too,
Word.
so it was
Rating
good.
out of 10?
Rating out of 10. I don't know. The shakshuka, unfortunately, was just eggs. It wasn't even shakshuka.
Yeah.
Really, that was disappointing, to be honest. But I think it was a useful breakfast.
I hear it. Is it the best one you've had on tour so far, or
Best breakfast.
that you had on tour?
I don't know. To be honest, like most of the times we just there was this crepe place
Oh yeah.
in South London near Stockwell.
Not in Paris?
Nah, well, in Paris we barely had any time to necessarily have breakfast.
I hear it. What was your first job?
First job,
Yeah.
well, actually, well, like something like first job and things I get paid for.
Yeah, I guess.
There's music then, bro.
Do you remember what's the oldest song you have in memory?
Damn. Like I can go back, bro. The thing is,
The earliest song you remember?
made like in general,
Yeah.
like by other artists.
Oh, anything.
I thought it was like the earliest song I made.
No, the earliest song you remember.
Remember? I think from like my childhood, like there's like videos of me like dancing to the song, and I remember also. But Lili Nari by Amr Diab, bro. I used to be jumping like, and I used to like wear a tarbush and like jump around my room and just. If my mom stopped the song, I'd cry, and then she continued. You know what I mean?
Word. And do you remember what the first kind of music you bought with your own money was?
It was on the iTunes store.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't in real life. I don't. If I bought CDs, like no, like I bought CDs when I was young.
Yeah.
It would be like, I don't know, the High School Musical thing. Like when I was like 5 or 6, you know. Just because like I don't know, Disney Channel was just at that time. But like honestly, in terms of like first like thing I was consumption, mostly like it was like pop stuff. So like really mainstream pop probably at the time, because that's just all I would probably listen to on the way to school, bro. Because that's what the radio had on. So like I was probably like Maroon 5 or like Coldplay or something, you know.
Yeah. And what are you listening to at the moment? That's not yours. Like, who are you listening to on repeat at the moment? What's standing out for you?
Definitely Brent Fayez. He's killing it, man. That guy really like I don't know. This guy says a word and I relate to every single word. And it's like every single time I come back to it, it's like, oh shit, I relate to this now. So it's almost great. It's almost like he kind of manifested for us guys. I don't know, but like he has like a song for almost like every situation. It feels. So he's definitely someone I'm listening to a lot. But like Marwan Musa in Egypt, of course. Who else? Burna Boy. Like Burna Boy's killing it. So like yeah, I think those are like actually my like main three probably on rotation like recently, like so it kind of bounces between those three.
What's a food that like has to be taken away from you, otherwise you wouldn't stop eating it?
Yeah, bro. I think like in general like with fruits, bro, I can go on forever. Like if you have a plate of fruits, I probably eat like to the point that like I'm about to throw up. I'll still eat more, bro. Like I don't know. I feel like with fruits definitely was. In Egypt, like also like, tell you, bro. If you have anything like with Nutella on it in front of me, I swear to God, bro, I won't stop, bro. You put like 10 Nutella crepes or whatever, I'll go.
What's so you've had some sports background.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that you did trials at, I think it's Malaga and Lille.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about that. What was that like?
Well, it was like amazing experience because like at that time I really wanted to become a professional football player, like you know anyone else from the Middle East basically, you know. Especially that was like peak Muhammad Salah time, so I was like, damn, like this guy is really killing it right now. I really wish I want to be like him, you know what I mean? Um, but it was like super cool experience. Like I was playing in Dubai, and I was playing for like a team that goes out to try and get scouted. So we played against Malaga, Sevilla, like all these clubs. I scored like against some of them too, bro. Like it was really sick. And then like I scored against Real Betis, like their youth, like youth side. Um, and then yes, then I got a trial at Malaga, and then on my first day there, we had like a tournament or a match. I played for them, and I scored 2 goals on my debut. So I was like, shit, I'm really gonna make it. But then I ended up going to like the actual trial after I played once with the team, and like bro, the guys there, like the level was different level, and that's probably why like I didn't make it in the end, as you can see. But like, shout out to like everyone playing football, bro, because it's actually so hard, and the guys who are like on that pitch, bro, they fully deserve to, because these guys like operate at like a speed of like just thinking. I can't, bro. It's crazy. The muscle memory is mad. So yeah, like when I was at Lille, bro, I was playing like with people on the French national team, bro. Like it's wild, bro. It's wild.
Yeah. And so how old would you been then when you did that?
I was like that was like my range was probably like where I was like really I think 14 to 17, like that was when I was like on that, like trying really hard to get scouted.
Damn.
But like of course I was playing from before that and competing and whatever,
Yeah.
but like that was the window where I was like going out into Europe more often and everything.
What number jersey?
9.
9. Nice.
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about growing up. You grew up in a lot of places, and I know this is like something a lot of us could talk about, but it's interesting to figure out like where people get their pieces from. But I think we see that a lot in your music. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was born in Saudi, but like I didn't really have much of a childhood there. I kind of just moved right to the UAE right after that. And then basically after that, for most of my like childhood to like late teen years, I was in Dubai. Like I grew up there, and then I would go back to like, Egypt every summer, every winter, like as often as possible. And from there I went to the US when I was 17, and I went there to like try and get recruited for football for the universities and stuff like that. So then from like it's been 3 years I've been in the US, but like throughout it, like Dubai itself, like living there, like as a kid, not like as like an adult who's going around, it's like really as if like every country in the world is living alongside you. Like it's all like just a country made up of expats. So living in Dubai is like as if I lived in the whole world at once. Like the amount of people that I was exposed to in their raw state, like of fresh off the boat, because literally everyone was fresh off the boat. Like that's why like I got like introduced to so many kinds of music, so many different cultures. It kind of really like allowed me to feel as global as I like want to be. Like as you're in school with like every nationality, and your friends are from everywhere. So yeah, man, it's like really I had a good childhood in Dubai, alhamdulillah. But yeah, like I think it's a great place for any kid to grow up low key, but for a certain time,
Mm-hmm. And so going back to music a little bit, what can you tell me about Jersey drums?
Jersey club.
Yeah.
Well, it's like actually a genre I've only kind of, well, it's a genre I've heard before, like, but I never knew the name for it up until like recently. The drums are sick, honestly. Like it's just almost feels like a heartbeat, when it's like bum 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 bum. Wait, bro, play the drums on this one. I don't know how I feel about the 4 on the floor, like in the middle.
Yeah, let's do it.
I get your point of like spreading it out a little bit, but like.
Let's see, I want to hear how it sounds. I don't know if the Jersey Club will work for this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So it's a sick genre, and like wanting to experiment with it a little bit, but I don't know if it's just like a phase or if it's something that's gonna last really.
How do you sort of get onto those things? Like, is it a progression from one sort of style to another, or is it sort of by coincidence that you find stuff, or do you see?
I think partially coincidence, like things like kind of like just fall in your lap. Like, you know, I'm not saying like, oh, I go and scout out genres or something, but like these things they do, like as they grow, like someone refers you or you see it somewhere, or like, you know what I mean, you hear it for the first time. One of your favorite artists like shows his inspirations, and it's like from that, like whatever it may be. But at the same time, like I get very bored of like different sounds, or like let's say if something is completely like there's a phase of people just doing flamenco type stuff. It's cool, like you're like, oh, I know flamenco now, but like you're like you at a time I'm like, okay, I'm tired of hearing the guitar. Let me go listen to some 70s or 80s shit where they're all synthesizers and everything. Then I'll get bored of the synths. Then like I'm like, okay, I don't like these drum patterns. Maybe we'll move on to a different bounce, bro. Like, oh, Afrobeats is sick. Or what about like it gets too repetitive? You're like, why not trap Shar'i with the Shar'i drums and everything? So it's like I just try and explore more and more and hear different things, because it gets kind of repetitive if you don't.
Yeah. What's the worst chore?
Chore. I don't know, man. Life is a chore at times. Just probably like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. What's your comfort food?
Comfort food. I think like harira and kushari. Two like very like just North African, but
that's a winning combo.
Like it's just the amount of carbs that go in your body and the meat like from the harira. I just after that like it's peace, bro. Good night.
That's I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's a weird combo. What are we likely to find on your YouTube recommended list?
Mine, like probably like random videos about like the economy and like probably like some football content, like, and then some type beats and music videos and things like
that. What's a theme tune from a childhood TV show cartoon that you still remember?
Shit. What's it? I remember a lot of them, man, honestly, but man, low-key Hannah Montana. I don't know the whole thing. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, just because you know, I feel like Hannah Montana sometimes, bro. I'm a student and then I become like an artist. It's kind of jokes, bro. Like living the best of both worlds, wallah. It's pretty like not the coolest show in the world. It's not that badass or anything. But wallah, it's relatable.
You have to wear a wig too sometimes.
Yeah, bro. Like I gotta, you know, like sometimes when I'm in school, I kind of have longer hair, and then we go out to do the show. So I go get a buzz cut and a fade, you know, and I look like all like put together. But during the school year, I'm just a mess.
When did you do your first live show or live performance?
I was like, I think I was 17 or 16. It was in Dubai, and it was this event. It was like called Space in Between. It was organized by like a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds, but like shout out this guy Rami. He owns like General Am in Dubai, and he's always been like supporting all of us, like every single creative in Dubai, and he let us like have that space. And in that space, I was also selling like my first ever like clothing line I ever made when I was like 15, 16 years old. So yeah, like they said, like we needed extra act. I said okay. I was already making music at the time, but I'd never done any shows. So I did that, and it was sick because like all my friends were there from school. Like it was a really special moment. That was like also the time I met my producer, my like longtime producer friend Josh. That was the day I met him as well. So yeah, that day meant a lot to me for sure. Even though it was a long time. I think sometimes I'm like, damn, I really peaked at 16. Life isn't gotten much better since then.
What's something that makes you often lose track of time?
Making music. Making music for sure.
What do you forget to do the most?
What do I forget to do the most? I forget to do a lot of things, to be honest with you, bro. Like trying to work on my procrastination.
What's something you feel ripped off by?
University. That's it. One period. Done. I don't have to say anything else.
What's something about London? So is this your first time in London?
No.
Okay, so tell me, what's something about London that even after this amount of visits doesn't make sense to you?
Man, I think like just the seat being on the right, like why? Like why do you think you're so cool to put on the right, bro? Like just sit on the left. Like who does that? I think yeah, that's probably the most confusing thing so far.
How do you relax? How do you take time off?
Sleep. Like pretty simple, bro.
Is that when
And
you choose
I'll
to or when you can?
honestly like when my body asks for it, bro. Like غصبا عن أي حاجة, bro. It will shut off in front of you, bro. Yeah.
What's the greatest advice you've ever got?
I got a lot of good advice, man, because I've got a lot of good like mentors in my life, and I've been blessed. Like when it comes to like the people with kind of authoritative roles in my life, you know what I mean. That they've been like very supportive. So I'd say like one is that like of course that like there's two things like that we have to do in this world, and that's like عبادة الله وعمارة الأرض. So like on a religious standpoint, I think for me that's like or just like even a spiritual side, like you know what I mean. Try to just like be grateful, thank your God, and then at the same time do your best, and like with combining faith with hard work, and like the faith could be with faith in a plan, faith in a future, but that hard work that you consistently have. I think like with that, it's kind of an unstoppable kind of duo in terms of ways of life, and I think yeah, like that's for me like the main philosophy. Do good in this world, and be a good person on the inside, and I think life becomes quite simple. Easier said than done, but yeah.
What was lockdown like for you?
It was the best thing ever, low key, because like I just graduated high school, so I was already in a state of like peace. I just finished school. Like we even like finished school early. Like I didn't even get a graduation in high school, but doesn't matter because high school doesn't really matter. But like that's when I really like I tore my ACL, so like that's why I stopped playing football. But I tore my ACL, and I like had done a few months of rehab like in the States, but like it was just too much. I didn't like I needed some time off, like rehab, whatever. And when I go back to Dubai, I didn't do any rehab. Like that's why my knee to this day is still kind of wonky. But like the point was, then when I got back home, I just made music every single day, every second of the day and night. And like during lockdown, a lot of like great albums came out. Like at least from my favorite artists, like The Weeknd dropped, Party Next Door dropped, like a lot of like 6 song. Like After Hours for me is just like it's a unbelievable album, and it kind of like really inspired me moving forward. And so like I spent every second, bro, just making music and experimenting and trying to record in different ways and writing and writing and writing. Like I made so many songs. Like I think like over 40 or 50 songs in lockdown. And I just like I don't know.
How many of them are out?
Well, I deleted like 3 of them because I was trying to keep my catalog a little bit more concise, but it's still out on like SoundCloud and YouTube. But like I had like a song called The Call, like I made that in the beginning of lockdown, and then this song called Alone, and this song called Found You, and then Casablanca I made it in the lockdown. I made not like maybe I made this song King of Cairo, had like pieces of it like in lockdown. So honestly, so much music that I made during that period, and like that's when I feel like I really took like a lot of steps like forward as an artist, because I just spent the days like watching tutorials, even doing online singing lessons, like whatever it was, like it was like free online singing lessons, different things like that, just consuming the content that like could make me become a better artist. So like yeah, man.
What's a fruit that you dislike?
Gawafa. Yeah.
What is it? A texture thing?
It's kind of bland as well.
What was the last fruit or veg that you tried for the first time?
There's probably something in Egypt like, or like, oh, teen shoki. Teen shoki in Egypt. It's like a fig basically,
Right.
but like I've never tried that.
Okay. How was it?
It was good. Yeah.
What's a first impression that you messed up?
Next question.
Fair enough.
Oh wait, go back actually. Yes, yeah. We had the show, and like I was really pissed. But like I acted like such a drama queen. Like they cut us off and stuff. So I definitely everyone there at the venue and like the team and whatever. Just bleep out the names, but like yeah, like they're probably like, oh, this guy's an idiot. But yeah, but then I apologize for my actions.
What's a song that you know every lyric to?
Well, there's like countless, honestly. Like, there's a lot of songs. I know a lot of Frank Ocean songs, a lot of Weekend songs, a lot of Party Next Door. Like,
What's the last film you watched in the cinema?
in the cinema. I don't really go to the cinema, but I think maybe like James Bond's Skyfall, like the recent one.
And tell me, is there an album you can think of that you listen to because of one song?
On the top of my head. If I only like one song, I'll just keep that one song. Like I'm not gonna go throughout the rest of the album.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that on my playlist. The rest of it's not gonna be listened to.
What's your routine when you're at home? And where is that?
But right now it's in uni, so like in Boston. My routine was gonna like it's last semester was chill, so really it's depending on like my course load. But like with my days it's like I wake up. Normally I like try to keep my classes like in the afternoon, but like let's say if I had a class first thing in the morning, I would go. Like I catch the tram, like I don't eat breakfast. I just get up like 5 minutes before class and just run, and then get to class. I'll participate if I feel like it, and then finish class, probably chill for a little bit, take a nap like in school, eat something, go to my other classes, go back home, make music, and then study and do the same thing the next day probably.
Who takes more pride than you do in your work?
What do you mean?
Like, who takes more pride in your work than you do? Is there anyone that takes more pride in what you do than yourself?
In my work?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I'm a one-man band, to be honest with you. So there isn't really anyone. I have people supporting me and everything like that, but no one's as invested into me than me. Yeah.
What's a feature or collaboration that would impress your dad?
Probably like something like Sting or one of the big like Shedmani or Amr Diab, but like also like if I did something with The Weeknd or like he'd be so happy if I did a song with Ed Sheeran, bro.
Really?
Because Ed Sheeran, bro, like every dad like knows Ed Sheeran, bro. Like it just I don't know, bro. It doesn't matter what country you're from, bro. Like this freaking ginger guy, bro. Everyone knows him, man. It's crazy. This guy just puts his head into everything, bro.
What's a smell that's attached to a very specific memory for you?
the smell of like petrol, bro, like in gasoline, like the gas, bro. Like it just reminds me of like my grandma's like apartment in Mosr Gdida. Like in there, like that's when that's when I was like I used to, like I grew up like around there. Like used to play football like on the streets, or I also like used to play with bomb like the fireworks, and like I was like 4 or 5 years old and I threw one out the window, and like and like I was supposed to go to the floor, right, but it went and hit a mosque, but like I was like, bro, but yeah, it's okay. Nothing happened because I was like 4 or 5 years old, so I didn't have much of like a throw back then. But it's just kind of like it was like the days like me and my cousin Allah Rahman, we used to like run around like we used to play a lot. Like my grandma, we were like at that time like my family isn't that big, but we were all together. You know what I mean? So it was like they were like when I smell that smell, it really takes me back to those days of just like that carelessness and that freeness.
Do you enjoy flights?
I don't mind them honestly. Like at this point, like because like I'm going back and forth between the U.S. and like everywhere in the world because the U.S. just decided to be so far away from everything. Uh, yeah, it honestly feels quite simple these days.
What do you do when you're on a flight? What do you spend your time doing?
Like I try to sleep. I try to make music. Like producing on a plane is kind of fun. So like yeah, honestly, like there's a lot to do on the plane. And like these days they have Wi-Fi on the plane, bro. It's not that deep.
Do you remember the last time like you really took a minute to look at a painting?
Yeah.
And where was that painting?
Well, we went to the Tate the other day. So honestly, it was really beautiful. There were some things in there that was like amazing. I don't remember like what painting precisely, but yeah.
When was the moment where you realized that you're good at this music thing and that you want to pursue it further? Was it a flip switch moment, or was it you knew from the beginning and you?
There was like no, there was a moment for sure. It was when like I was in boarding school. Remember, I couldn't walk, everything like that, and I made this song. It was called Moonlight, and like these, I'll tell you like how like slowly but surely I was like, okay, like I'm not just making music for myself right now. And Moonlight's still my biggest song to this day, like 1.7 million streams. And like I was in my dorm room, I was like I said, all I could do was just make music. I couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. It was just so cold outside, so like I had nothing. Like I said, it was just me and my computer and my mic. And like I made this song. I made Moonlight. I was like thinking about like belly dancers and all these different things, like kind of like the exoticism of it or whatever, and like it was very different to my surroundings because I was like in the woods somewhere in Massachusetts, cold with only white people, and like so I made the song. I remember like I was playing it in the room, and then the white kids started opening the door like, yo man, what's that song? It's crazy, I've never heard a bounce like this before, man. And then like I was like, okay, sick, like these guys are vibing with it. And then we go down, when we went to the like school gym, we played inside the gym, and then even there, like even the big like PE teacher, like the coach guy, yeah, inside there is like, yo man, this is crazy, like what you got going over here. Like even that guy was stone cold, like like guys on American football size, bro, is saying like my like cute Bayou music is hard or something. I was like, okay, that. Then I go back to the Middle East. I go back to Dubai for like the winter break, and this was like winter 2019, like in before pre-pandemic. Like the world was like off, the world was on fire, bro. And like that day we played like Moonlight at like 2 house parties, and house parties are full, bro, full like to everything, bro. It was like a trap house almost, like the way like everything is. And then we went to two. One where it was like all like just kids, yeah, and like kids my age and stuff like that. And we play Moonlight, and everyone's dancing and having a great time, and no one even knows it's me, but like after that they realize it's me, like you're like, holy, like this is crazy. And then we would go like to more bougie, like what's it called, like where all the parents are at and whatever, and we played there, and even the parents are like after that coming like, oh my god, yeah, Adam, wow, mashallah, you're so good and whatever, and this, and even my school friends, and they're all like, what the hell. Then I dropped the song, yeah, and the song like gets like 100,000 streams like in the first month. And keep in mind, before then I was like, hey man, if we like put out an album and get like 5,000 streams across like all 22 songs, like I'm gonna be so happy, bro. Like, so I see that, like then after that the numbers like starting to go up. I was like, okay, like I'm not just like I'm not trash, like, or whatever, or not, my friends are not just saying like, oh, you're so good, bro, and whatever, because friends are supportive in the beginning. Nowadays my friends, they don't support me for shit, but like in the beginning though, they yeah, they were there. But yeah.
So, when you started out, was it sort of like SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, yeah. SoundCloud, yeah.
So how do you still use it as much? Because I find I used to listen to a lot of music on SoundCloud back in the day.
Yeah, bro, I still.
And it's like how I discovered most stuff.
Yeah, no, I still listen to SoundCloud stuff, like let's say for like unreleased stuff of like sick underground artists. Maybe sometimes they like leak it, or like of the big guys too. Like I like listening to leaks on SoundCloud or whatever. But and sometimes artists like put out like exclusive songs on SoundCloud still, like to this day. So I listen to sometimes stuff from there, like on SoundCloud.
You.
But I post there too still.
Yeah, and I've seen you're quite active with sort of like the whole content thing, TikTok and Instagram. So how many platforms are you on? Can you even think about it at this point, or is it just?
Well, I mean, like there's like 3 or 4 main ones.
Yeah.
It's like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, I guess, but like I don't really be posting like that like frequently there. And then like Spotify.
Yeah.
Those are like the things that like I focus on, like driving up like just engagement. So yeah, that's it's not that much if you think about it really.
Yeah. So with the TikTok thing, how like I feel like you do a lot with that because
Yeah.
you put out a decent amount of stuff and it looks like a good amount of work goes into it as well.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So like, how do you manage that? Because I mean, I get burnt out just not doing all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Facts, bro. Like
And to do
sometimes
that as
it is
well.
like that. Sometimes you just be sitting thinking about trying to make that content,
Yeah.
and you just get tired from it.
Yeah.
Like before even going out to even do it. So it is. So at times it can feel like a chore. You know what I mean? Like, but I think when it is that way, when it's like sit in front of the camera, force yourself to do something, like so that you can drive up engagement or whatever. Like I feel like that insincerity and like trying to create that content or just create in general comes out on the other end. And of course, like, then I feel like people don't gravitate towards it. You know what I mean? Whereas like when you're really there and you wanna give the people something and also create something of worth or of value, then like it tends to do well. Like, you know what I mean? So like let's say it's something organic, like, or something authentic, just me at a show, or like me just having a good time out, like in the city, some aesthetics kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that resonates more with people. So show not tell, you know what I mean? And I feel like when you approach content like that, it tends to do better.
Stylistically, you're very particular way of fashion. You're very intent. Like you put a lot of intention into pieces. You say like the way.
Yeah.
What are you jamming with at the moment? What's the vibe? What's hitting for you at the moment in that?
Right now, well, like all Casablanca, like it's just crazy. Like as a whole concept and the brand and everything around it. For me, like that's like something like I aspire to even try and do one day. Like it really, like it's what I envision my music to be almost. Like I want it to be as bright and as colorful and as like luxurious almost in a way. Like it's amazing. So like that's one. Yeah, so there's that. But like in general, in terms of brands, I'm not too like picky. You know what I mean? I love like also like the stories behind brands like Shabab, for example. Like I love the way that Moha and Jindi went about building it and the kind of community that like it represents. Like when you put on Shabab, like you feel like I'm a part of like this certain community in the Middle East of like creatives and whatever, because it's just, you know what I mean. But also like before I like consider myself a creative. Anything I saw them, and I was like, this also الشباب يعني احنا كلنا الشباب. You know what I mean? So that's like that's like it was a beautiful thing in the beginning. I felt like, you know, it's light, khafif. You know, it's not like everything else so deep. Like I kind of want like a little bit more brightness. You know what I mean? In the way that we dress and look and everything and speak and create. Of course, there's things and problems that we need to tackle. But like at the end of the day, I want like everyone to smile in the end, like because we're beautiful people, you know. So that I also like want us to feel together and be together. So that's like I love brands that kind of show that, like, and I love all kinds of art and content and whatever that kind of brings us together as a culture, as a society, rather than like farther away.
Tell me, like top 3 Arab countries you're trying to play that you haven't played at yet.
I haven't played in Egypt, bro, like properly. Like I did like some house party type stuff, but like I haven't done a show. So like definitely Egypt, Saudi, and Lebanon.
And tell me, who's for you like the longest? Do you listen much to like is rap an influence? I feel like you work with a lot of that sort of. You work with Saint Laurent and some stuff.
Yeah.
So is that something that you grew up listening to a lot of as well? Who was the longest sort of influence?
In hip hop.
Yeah.
Longest, I mean, earliest or longest or.
Earliest. Yeah, the person you've been listening to like the earliest and that you still listen to today.
Well, not I don't listen to them today, but like the person who kind of introduced me to hip hop was kind of Eminem. I feel like, but I don't listen to him anymore.
Yeah.
I think person I've like been like with like the longest probably from hip hop is Drake. Like the person I've been following like up until this day, where I still like anticipate his releases, and Kanye West, like those two. But yeah, like I said, I come from more of a like a pop / like radio background. You know what I mean, in terms of like my early listening, and even like electronic and like dance.
Yeah.
That's more of what like my ears were accustomed to growing up. Like hip hop was something I found out like through the boys, like, but like not really necessarily my childhood.
What's one of the greatest music videos ever made?
Greatest music.
Music videos.
Music videos. That's a good question. I think like the ASAP Rocky videos, like most of them are just mad. Like especially like the ASAP Forever one, that's crazy. And I just love like all of this cinematography in After Hours, like the weekend like videos, like making music videos kind of connect as a movie, and also like almost act as a segue for the weekend to even perhaps have like an acting career in the future, and also build the world at the same time. Like as an artist, it's just like it's super cool. So I think like that's probably like a music video concept that I really respect.
If you ever consider acting?
Yeah, man, that'd be sick one day. Like, not on some Tamar Hosni here or whatever, but like, cause yeah, I'm not that short king, man. I'm a different kind. We're a different breed. Cause I'm thinking, yeah, like it would be sick in the US to do something.
What are your goals syncs in music? Just thinking about stuff to get music syncs for. What would be like an amazing thing for you? Were you a big gamer when you were younger?
You says what?
Is there a video game that you'd like
To be on?
see by you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, if I was FIFA, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't make it as a football player, but if you put me in the game as like on the soundtrack too, bro, like that's like that's crazy, no? Like that would be mad. That's another way to make it in the game, and like, you know what I mean? Like I just want to be involved in football one way or another, you know. So that's why, like, yeah, that's why it's great.
What's the dumbest thing you did when you were in school?
There's a lot of dumb things, man. Like mostly like clumsy stuff, to be honest. But like I think I'll have to come back to that, bro. But like, I just in school, like I was a clumsy kid, bro. Like I remember, like when I first learned how to swear, I just cussed out all the teachers, like, and cussed out everyone on the football pitch, and cussed out like, and then even like just like first learning the word. I remember like we were playing a match like in my academy or something like that. And I just went to each guy like, you're a douchebag, you're a douchebag, you're a douchebag, one after the other. Like, and then when I learned like what's it called, words in Arabic, I remember like going to my coach and be like "Inta ghabi," whatever, like something like that, bro. Like as a kid, and like I was like, oh no, it was not that. I went to like, okay, I just learned يخرب بيتك, and I went to him like in the middle of a match, like just so like no one told me to do, no one provoked me, but I just would يخرب بيتك, like, you know what I mean, like stuff like that, bro. That's probably like the clumsiness of me, like at that time, bro. Well, there's more, bro. There's definitely more. Like I was a dumbass.
If there's a skill that you could wake up and magically instantly have, what would it be?
Shit. The ability to develop every skill, that would be the skill.
There's always one.
Can't, bro. There's too many skills I need, bro. There's too many skills in this world.
What's the best piece you've ever thrifted?
Where is it? It might be here even. There's a bunch of stuff, bro, honestly. But like, nah, it's not here, it seems. But there's this DKNY like leather jacket, and like that has like the most use out of any piece I've ever copped in my life. So, and it just makes me look like a beast. So, like I chuck that on with anything, and khalas, like I'm 32 years old with like 100K in my bank account. I feel like that. Well, inshallah more than 100K. But yeah, like sorry, wallahi. Yeah, 32, bro. We're Bezos level, inshallah. مش Bayou level, Bezos level.
Tell me, who are you supporting in the World Cup?
In the World Cup, I want Messi to win it, man. I really do. Will he? I don't know. It's just like, I'm a Barcelona fan, so.
Who do you think has another World Cup in them? Messi, Ronaldo?
I think Messi, like, yeah, it's this after this one, you mean?
Yeah.
After 2022?
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Really?
Yeah. Messi, bro, if he doesn't win this, he's just gonna be like, I'm done with this, bro. I don't care. He'll retire for the 72nd time, bro.
Do you think he retires at Barca?
Nah. I think he'll like maybe go to like the MLS or something, but I think he'll come back. But I think he'll probably go to the MLS if he did. But either way, he'll go to the MLS. Yeah.
What's the truth that you live by?
The truth. Like, don't envy like others, and really like go and make that like for your. Oh, this is the truth. Live an ethical life, because if you're out there stealing and cheating and hustling or whatever, you're gonna constantly be looking like over your shoulder, and you'll never be able to enjoy the life that you build, even if. So go and win it, but win it fairly, win it fair and square, and don't harm others, in the process.
What's one of your favorite all-time films that you can watch over and over again?
Like I said, I'm not much of a film guy. I think maybe more like with series I could probably, but even then, like series, I probably watched it 3 times. I'll be like, bro, I've seen this. You know what I mean? I know what's coming next. I don't know, with film, like, it's not what I really. It's a bit too long for me to go watch twice.
Name a musician that's still under the radar.
Bayou, man. No, but like, no, serious. Still on the radar. Who's like OP, like crazy.
Yeah, that you think is not getting the recognition they deserve.
I think this guy is based in Boston. His name is Che Ekru. Like, he like was sampled on a Drake song, and the Drake Chris Brown song. But like in general, like, and he's done work with like Bryson Tiller and like all these sick guys. But like I feel like his voice and like what he could be capable of doing, like with like better production or whatever, he could be like a huge like mega star. But he's just one of those guys that like I feel You know, there's this class of artists like that just want to be enigmatic. When in this day and age, like what, like you can't, like you can be an enigma still in front of the screen, but you can't just, like, you know what I mean, like just drop songs and hide. You know what I mean, like. But that speaks as for like a whole class of artists, not like him. He's like, I know he does like his, like he does put stuff out, but like it's the guys that like one post on IG, and like, you know what I mean, like unless you're like Childish Gambino or Kanye West, like why are you doing that? You know what I mean?
Um, what's your favorite lyric?
Mm. There's like different for different contexts, man.
Or that you've written?
Oh, that I've written?
Yeah.
I only got love for my mama, I only got love for my job. Like it just kind of speaks for itself. Or I don't want a girl, I don't want an influencer, I want a girl that's influential. Stuff like that, like just truths that I'm trying to live by, like um, moving forward, yeah.
Tell me, what's something you only learned in the past 5 years?
The past 5 years. That's a pretty long window. I learned a lot of things in 5 years. I feel definitely like most of the music and like also just like adulthood to an extent and just how to be a man and all these different things. Like, yeah, in the last 5 years I've just been kind of on a coming of age and I'm still young, still 20. So there's a long way to go.
Is there a dream venue that you'd want to play?
Like, yeah, like definitely like Coachella or like, yeah, probably Coachella.
5 years from now, what do you want to have learned? What do you want to have been able to do?
Well, not even Coachella, but sorry, my bad. Maybe like if you want to go even bigger, like imagine an Arab guy headlining the Super Bowl or something. You know, that'd be crazy. So that would be something really special. You said what was the question? How many years you want?
Yeah, in 5 years, what do you want to have learned by then?
By then, man, I want to be an independent, successful artist and man who is, you know, in charge of his life and in charge of himself, you know what I mean? Both like in terms of what he does in the day to day, but like his mind and his, you know, like I just feel I want to be on top of myself at that time, you know, feel like I have a good sense of understanding of who I am. Not like I know I won't know everything about myself, but like more so like, you know, you work hard, you know, you take care of your body, you take care of your mental health, like all the different elements that allow you to thrive as a person. I wanna be able to have those on lock.
So I asked you guys this question on the telegram earlier in the trip, but I'm gonna ask you it again. So you got a few more hours before you leave London for this time. What's the shittiest thing that's happened to you in London?
Man, to be honest, there's a lot, like, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like a nuisance, something that's like just annoying.
yeah. So, the other day we were going to the studio and we were shooting a video for London to Cairo. And I finally got the F out. He had to come all the way down to South London from Essex. And I was wearing these very nice, pristine white pants. And we were going to the studio, as we usually do. And the studio is in a, like, you know, like almost like it looks like a parking lot, you know what I mean? Very, like very ends, very to the side, on the sidelines, you know what I mean? It's just, you can't find. So we go there. I'm out there unlocking the gate to go inside the studio. Is literally a shack, and I kneel down to, like I said, unlock the gate. I like while I'm kneeling down, I'm like, okay, like I'm wearing these white pants. I hope I don't get like just some dirt on my knee, you know, like it can happen, you know. There's gravel on the ground. I go up, I get up. I'm like, I feel, why is my pants a little bit moist? I look down at my pristine white pants and I see shit. And not only is it just, you know, feces, it is human feces. because I saw like a toilet paper right there outside, right next to the shit, or not even a toilet paper. I think someone just used the paper, and that really ruined my day. I just watched this, bro. Turn the show off. Like that I kneeled directly into human feces.
Alright, well, we're not going to finish on that note.
Yeah.
So we'll say now, what was the highlight of this trip?
Okay, well, definitely the show.
Yeah.
That was
Which
amazing.
one you've done?
Our show, Marwan and I's show, like the Grace. I think that was a beautiful night. Like the turnout was amazing, and yeah, like it was just a special night. Like I had all my boys there. It was like I hope to have more nights like those.
Cool. Where are you playing next?
I don't know, bro. Like it's in the air right now, but let's hope like that we'll be able to be back in the Gulf for the big things there. But inshallah, this is Bayou'sworld at the end of the day, brother. So.
You know what? Tell me a little bit about that. We didn't touch on that.
Yeah.
Bring me into this Bayou'sworld. I'm hearing a lot about Bayou'sworld.
Yeah. What's
in Bayou'sworld?
What's in Bayou'sworld? Well, here's your stamp, because you're about to come inside, brother. Basically, like with Bayou'sworld, it's not only is it just like my life and my experiences and everything like that. It's just like this, like it's like accumulation or almost like a collage of like every single thing that I like or have experienced or that I see. You know what I mean? And with that, like, it's of course very Middle Eastern centric, but like just because like that's what I've really seen so far. That's what I've tasted. That's what I've lived. And with like the Middle East and everything like that, I really wanna like show the fruits of our land, the fruits of our people and things like that. So that's a part of like Bayou'sworld, and I'm trying to almost build this like curated space. I don't know if it's a utopia or a dystopia or whatever it will be in the end, right? That like is just full like for the eyes, full for the ears, full for the heart, for the mind. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to build with Bayou'sworld, because like I feel like I wanna, like I have like this vision of the world, and I kind of wanna let everyone in it, and I also want to let people kind of create their own things within that world, or their own interpretations, their own cities of feelings, and inspire them to build their own worlds too. You know what I mean?
How do you take your tea or coffee?
Sorry?
How do you take your tea or coffee?
With tea, like hot, and normally something herbal. Coffee, like really, I can have it hot, cold. I like to have it a little bit on the sweeter side, but yeah.
Do you have any pre-show rituals or habits that you do before every time you hit the stage?
I usually, I ask God to make me have a good show, or I just basami billah like before I go out. But also I do my vocal warm-ups, like drink tea, like just take it easy, you know what I mean? Like I really conserve all my energy, like for when I go out. I don't get really necessarily anxious or anything, but I like to keep my excitement inside me, so that when I go out, like I release it out completely with the fans, with the people up on stage, and then I almost feel like I'm a part of like the musical experience, you know? I get into that zone, that state of flow. So that's kind of like what I keep my rituals before very light.
And lastly, 10 years from now, if you just look down the barrel of the camera, what do you have to say to yourself?
I'm gonna have to say, work hard now, and you'll see how far you're gonna get.
Oh shit, we're done there. We'll cut there. Good thing.
Those were some, bro. Those are like questions, like, you know, like where genuine. I'm telling you, like, who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, you know. Normally, so far, I've been like very curated with my answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, those are some shit, bro. Like me talking about like my
Okay,
childhood
yeah.
and whatever. Like, you get me?